This is a Frank podcast.
This Warriors Live Podcast 2025, episode 12, Sunday morning, and Will Evans and Brad Larkin coming at you. And if we're recording on a Sunday morning, that means something pretty notable must have happened. And Brad, an amazing bounce back win from the Warriors, 36-16 over Manly at Mount Smart on Friday night. They've done it again. Their ability to respond to a horrific loss with an amazing win. Right up there with the best of them.
Yeah. Geez, I had no expectations of that game. To be honest, I was shitting myself. It was the last team I wanted to come up against in the competition after round one efforts Manly put in. But yeah, unexpected. It wasn't till 70th. When did you think we were home? I thought the wheels were going to come off sooner or later. But then Manly started getting injured. And it's like, fuck, we've broken these bastards.
Yeah, certainly failed a couple of times in the second half, especially when they got a couple of hairline video ref calls go their way to get tries. We're like, oh shit, here we go again. But never got closer than 8 points after the half-hour mark, I think it was. So fairly comfortable in the end, and they really put the foot on the throat in the last 15. It was great to see.
Yeah, they did. We were speaking second half. Was that when Walker went for the strip and then he gave a second set? That's when I thought, oh, here we go. This is the tide turning now when he got pinged within 2 or 3 tackles. But yeah, geez, we owned them through the middle, didn't we? Like I know Manly can get on the outside of anyone. That's what Manly do. So, of course, they got around us. And there was a couple there's a couple of dud reads, but they fully shut down Tommy coming through the ruck. They were up and tight in that ruck area. And in the end, we just wore them down. They just almost gave up.
We just sort of bustled them into those eras. As much as we turned things around from round one, Manly were barely recognisable from the team that destroyed the Cowboys last Saturday night. So I think that was sort of down to our line speed, our aggression and intent. And Manly were bloody disappointing. If you're a Manly fan, you have been bewildered by that performance. It was pretty loose and they were pretty impatient when things stopped working for them. But yeah, just a great win. We're brought to you by King's Container Crew, of course, Brad.
Sorry, we got so excited we forgot to go through the formalities. Sorry, go ahead, Will.
Hey, it's nothing's a formality when you're talking about King's Container Crew. Our wonderful sponsors. Head to kingscontainercrew.com for all your container packing and unpacking solutions. They're all over Australia and New Zealand, and you can even get a job with them maybe if you're lucky enough. Hit the Work With Us tab and try your luck. Also, TAB New Zealand, proud sponsors. I'm sure a few people were cashing in with that unexpected win. I think we're $3 something outsiders. So yeah, if you backed with your heart, you might have picked up a tidy little multi-win or something.
I got a couple of nice wee collects, actually.
Yeah, did
Friday's
you?
game. Wigan going over, packed him, and also had a in-game multi of Travojevic, Saab, and Roger to score a try, and collected on that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And we're also part of the Frank podcast stable as well, Brad. And that win certainly turned Mike Minogue's Vegas frown upside down.
Oh, and geez, hopefully it was starting to get a bit dire of having a Warriors podcast. We were hoping they like a win. Yeah. We might get a couple of another follows this week. If we had another loss, geez, people would see the numbers drop. So no, it all bodes well for everyone involved. That Warriors win Friday night, didn't it? Geez, even they're lucky. They needed to win that, or else those knives were just about sharp, eh?
Sharpening.
Just about. Everyone had finished sharpening them, and they were just waiting to see what happens at the end of 80 minutes.
No, it's a full credit to them for bouncing back that way. I mean, Vegas was disappointing, and they copped a bit, but they hunkered down and sorted a few things out. Obviously, it was far from perfect, and obviously some shaky moments in defence. The attack was good in parts, pretty dreadful in others. But I think it was more just the attitude and the aggression and the poise. They didn't panic at all. And just the confidence to back what they were doing,
Jeez,
and it came off
some
them.
of our line speed, some of that line speed was incredible, wasn't it? The way they were getting
Yeah.
up, just getting right in their face. And we weren't doing great things with the ball. It wasn't as if we were bowling through them down the middle of the field for the first 60 minutes. Like they were pretty strong. We just stuck in more so. It wasn't flash, was it?
No, I think it was. We certainly took our opportunities better. Some of their goal line defence was pretty awful. We scored sort of tries out of nothing. A couple of well constructed tries as well. Metcalf, some nice try assists. But Manly, they got dominated in possession, but they had a better average set distance. So it felt like we were kicking from deep a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But when we got down there, more often than not, we came away with points, which was stark contrast to the game against Canberra. And and just good to see. I would have liked to see a few more sort of flashier, crisper tries, of course. But if you're winning 36-16, it's sort of a sign that your pressure is breaking them.
Yeah, and that loss to Canberra, the pill's a little bit easier to swallow what they'd done to the Broncos last night as well. So, yeah, geez, it was a good game. Chanel, I think he's, for me, locked up that number 6. He's playing what the number 6 needs to be doing, playing wise, backing up the kicking we needed with his left foot, and running at holes. And then he set up that pass out to Pompey. Was he? They almost thought he was going to run at a hole again, and he went out the back to Pompey, and Pompey done not much most of the game, and then all of a sudden a flick pass probably puts his player ratings up a point or two to get Rog over.
Yeah, love what Chanel did. I think he's a perfect 5'8" for this team. Just picks his moments nicely. Metcalf was obviously a big talking point in the wake of Vegas, probably a little unlucky with the way the rest of the team, particularly the pack, played. I thought he was really good in moments on Friday night, pretty ordinary in others, but a massive step forward. It was just the game he needed. A couple of lovely try assists, the runaway on full time there, and just enough good moments to build his confidence. And he seems like he's a confidence player. I think it was I got a little bit of stick for a modest player rating. That was a reflection of the good moments against the not so good moments. But I thought it was a massive step forward for him.
Still has a tendency to run himself and players around him into a bit of a dead end every now and then, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he just gets down. He thinks he takes the wrong turn and ends up in a cul-de-sac. He thought that was going to lead him back onto the main highway. Yeah, it does. And so that's confidence, though, isn't it? Caught in two minds.
I'd like to see him. It seems like when he runs it, now that he's at halfback, it's more as an afterthought. But when he's run out of someone to pass to, then he'll sort of try and have a dig. I'd love to see him with a bit of a run first mentality, or every now and again think I'm going to have a crack here, because we didn't really see that. And I think when he was at 5'8" outside Sean, he was more of a sort of hole runner, or wait to be put into some space. He's watching Fletcher Sharp play at number 6 for Newcastle. He just gets it and takes off, and
he's good,
and he's away. Whereas Metcalf's got the same sort of speed and elusive attributes as that. I'd like to see him just have a real crack.
So that will that game will do with confidence. That will come with confidence, I think, won't it? He'll start to learn naturally. Yeah, he's learned. I think that's where that dead end running. Yeah, there's jury's out, but that's a good thing for both the Warriors, the supporters, and Metcalf. Him having that flashes of brilliance in the weekend. Yeah. Oh, that was a good game. Jeez. I was going apeshit at the end of that. I was calling Manly all sorts of obscenities in my lounge, Such a good feeling. So good going to bed. The sky was bluer Saturday morning, I reckon, when I got up.
Yeah.
Birds were tweet, but they seemed to have a bit more pitch, a happier pitch in their voice. So, nah. Is that a word?
Sure did.
I just
said? It was a dusty old start. The Roger jamming in and Manly scoring a long-range try in the first few minutes. Thought, here we go again, and threatened to get away from us another couple of times in that first 15 minutes, but managed to, I think, sort of get away with a couple. and then we sort of, that try to Chanel set up by Metcalf sort of came out of nowhere, and thought, hang on, we're in this, and
Yeah.
they really dominated the rest of the first half.
Manly's execution just kept us in the game for that first 20, didn't it? That last pass going to hand, whereas last week all that shit was coming off for them. So maybe they thought it just happened. But yeah, I thought we were in deep shit when they first got that try, and then they stripped us wide a couple of other times. But after that, yeah, we just broke them down. They were more concerned. I think they just had in the back of their head that they couldn't get meters or couldn't get out of their own end. So the rest of the game fell apart around it.
They really tried to spread it quite a lot around about their 40-meter line, and it came unstuck quite a few times for them, especially as the match wore on.
And a couple of times we did misread, but they scrambled well as well to get back in and shut it down. Yeah,
because it finished
great effort.
five line breaks each, but 6 tries to 3. So that sort of gives you an indication of the good scramble D, and I guess the fact that they weren't able to make their breaks count as much as we did.
5 line breaks each. I thought I read that Taupiki got the most line breaks at 1. Did it get shared around to 1 apiece? Like after the game, I was looking, the player stats in that, and it had Taupiki line breaks 1, and he was a top performer for line break. I was like, oh, the bad stat.
For us, I think Saab actually ended up with 4 line breaks. So yeah, we had 5 players get a line break. I guess that means Saab with 4. So that's a little bit worrying. But you remember the last time he played at Mount Smart when that tight 29-22 win at late in 2023 season, and Saab got a hat trick out skinning whoever would have been Marcelo on the wing that day, I guess. But yeah, so they can target us. I don't know if it was obviously our line speed was great, and Roger sort of made a couple of decisions to jam when he shouldn't have. Whether that was sort of part of the defensive strategy to just shut it down as quick as you could, or whether they'll be watching the tape going, yeah, you stuffed up there, Rog. But at least the intent was there to sort of make a decision. The first one was particularly ugly because Pompey had Garrett covered.
And even Rog threw his hands in the air. What am I doing? Yeah, he knew.
Yeah. But no, overall, I thought, right across the park, the defense, 93%. Getting some of these team stats, Brad. I think we had 93% tackle efficiency. 93.4. So only, what did we end up with? Only 16 missed tackles compared to, was it about 40 in Vegas against Canberra? They had 39 Manly missed tackles. So a massive turnaround in that stat. Our completions outstanding, 43 of 47. So another huge turnaround. We're poor in that department in round 1. Manly only 72%, 26 of 36. Dominated the run meter count. We had a lot more possession, obviously. Their average set distance slightly more than us, and that is noticeable, I think, without Adam Fanua-Blake, that we don't, we're not able to just,
and
march
especially
up the field.
Taupiki taking one of those first, either play 1 or play 2, unless he's sniping at a hole, he doesn't actually go very far a lot of the time.
Yeah, I thought he was really good. And
he was good, but he does get frog marched if he's a little. It doesn't.
If he gets a wall,
yeah.
Couple of other stats, Brad, that you might enjoy. It was the first time we've won in round 2 since 2018 when the Warriors went on that 5-0 start to start the season. So round 2, not our favourite round. Yeah.
For Teamless Tuesday, you're going to have to come in our winning percentage for round 3 then. Each week, we need to keep an eye on this. What's our winning percentage per round?
I do have a little stat for round 3 before as we look ahead. So hopefully we don't go breaking too many streaks, because we've won every round 3 game since 2019 was the last time we lost in round 3.
Oh, no shit.
So, hopefully we can keep that one going.
Chooks this weekend. Chooks have used up their good game for the month, so I reckon we'll be fine.
Yeah, what a night it was Friday. We'll get onto that a bit later, but geez, didn't they try and steal our thunder with the upset of the Panthers as an $11 outsider? Thought we had
Were
the
they
upset of the round.
$11?
Yeah, I think Penrith
Shit.
had come down to $1.04. Roosters with probably half a squad out, and yeah, insane
Imagine
win
these rich wankers putting $100,000 on
to make
Panthers just to get it 4
$4,000.
grand back. Yeah. No, I'll just make quick 4 and then start shopping for shit already, waiting for the bet. Gone.
That would be us if we ever plonked
Yeah.
down 5
No
figures
shit.
on a bet. It would be on a seemingly sure thing, and yeah,
Imagine
blow up in our face.
being in the position to have a spare 5 figures though. I don't.
Yeah,
I struggle to have a spare 3 figures. You know what I mean? Jesus. Panic about having to spend $100. Anyway, sorry. What was the last stat?
no,
You got one more there, did you?
the first half was their biggest first half since 2023. So all of last year, as far as points scored, I heard in the commentary, which is
18.
yeah, I think they might have chalked up 16 at some stage last season. So yeah, good to see. We were obviously got off to a lot of hot starts last year and then put the queue in the rack. It was good to see them continue to dominate that first half and go up 18-6. That was crucial, I think, to keeping Manly to only one try. Had the belief from there to go on with the job.
Aaron
And
Clark's quickly firming himself as a fan favourite, isn't he?
yeah, I mean, obviously a really nice tribute to Tohu. That was actually quite stirring.
Yeah.
Tohu coming out under the lasers and in the cloak and handing over the waka paddle over to the new co-captains. It was a pretty cool moment. But yeah, Aaron Clark and Tohu's number 13 jersey. He's really making it his own. 2 great games. He's probably the best Warriors forward against Canberra, and he wasn't far off against Manly. So
he digs in,
just
man.
goes.
Jazzy was trying to target him, wasn't he? It was like Jazz was trying to make a point of him sort of being in his spot.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Aaron
Kind of
had
was
him.
the guy that. Yeah, well, pretty forgettable night for Jazz.
It was.
I think
What
he
was the
just
try where
played
he missed the tackle? Whose try was that?
Tua Picky. Yeah,
That's right.
pretty bad miss on Tua Picky arcing back, and Jazz had 1 run for 6 meters.
Ooh.
So I think did he play in the? Yeah, I think he just played mostly. I think he played exclusively at hooker actually.
Yeah.
Jazz, but yeah, just the 1 run dummy half. Obviously, this week not behind a pack that was doing too much, and
Yeah. Did you see him biff
yeah,
that water bottle at the Warriors behind the post?
yeah. I couldn't figure.
Cheeky
I
little
didn't see it
fuck.
happen at the time. Did you see what part of the match that was at? I only saw a clip later on.
Well, what it was running to right hand side of screen. What was that second
Well,
half?
it looked like it wasn't it in. Yeah, so was it in the second half after we got
Must
a
have been
try?
second half. Yeah, it was second half after
Yeah.
a try, and he picked up one of the water bottles out of the bucket of them there and biffed it. I think Valmonga come over to get in his face a little bit. But yeah, no, cheeky little shit.
Yeah. Speaking of Manly players that were doing stuff just
Shit.
outside the field of play that they shouldn't have been, non-playing reserve Gordon Chan Kum Tong has grabbed a Warriors supporter who was giving it to Jake Trbojevic after he got sin-binned, and he's got up and grabbed him.
He tried to get his phone out of
Wild.
his hand, didn't he? From what I seen watching it was like he tried to
Was
grab
it?
the phone out of his hand. Yeah.
What was he thinking? He must hear worse every week at
Yeah.
the grounds around Australia. And can we go one Warriors game without someone grabbing someone that they shouldn't? We've already had Richie Agar in round 1. Now Gordon's getting in on the mix. It's all happening. But yeah, bizarre incidents.
What? Yeah, real. That was weird as shit. But oh well, that's how pissed off he was sitting on the bench. That's what the defense done to him, and he was the non-playing reserve. He was that wound up because they were going so shit. So nah, we beat them in all facets.
Brad, we're so excited that we kind of glossed over the big talking point of the week, and obviously the Warriors win was a was a big turnaround in the Larking household because, geez, it got pretty dramatic. Probably around this time last Sunday.
Yeah. 4 o'clock a week ago, shit hit the fan up here. Yeah, old Teddy, he just washed his bike, and me and the missus are up chopping some wood, and he's just tooting around. Not even because he's an idiot on a bike. He goes hammers, but he was just putting around, and come off his bike, and I thought he was yelling out, "It's burning! It's burning!" So I ran over to lift the bike off him, thinking the exhaust pipe was laying on his leg. But as I lifted the bike off and looked at his leg, which is sort of now in a uppercase L, you could say, where his leg sort of dive off at 90, I realized that he was saying, instead of burning, it's broken. So no, he snapped his leg, and she was action stations from that point on for a good 48 hours, really. The poor little bugger, he done a good job of it. He done a good job of it. So it was chaos. Fucking fire brigade and paramedics and advanced paramedics.
Fire brigade?
Because he was down the side of a berm to lift him out because the brake was so bad. They needed extra hands and backboards and all sorts of shit from fire brigade to extricate him. Yeah. Got his red band cut off him. He's fucking filthy about that. He's got to get a new pair of red bands. Yeah.
Did they put him on the green whistle for a bit of
They
relief?
went straight fentanyl.
Oh, really? Shit.
So the green whistle wasn't going to be enough, they reckon, because it was broken. It was L-shaped broken. And then I lifted it off, and as I was standing, the bike Super Trace come in, and she grabbed his leg and gave it a yank and straightened it back out again into a straight line and held it. So then I had to ring. So I was off ringing paramedics and that, waving them into the section because our driveway, everyone just because we're on a gravel road, they go past and keep missing. So I was out the front directing. But he was straight into fentanyl. He was off his chops real quick. So, and that was actually the most haggard thing about the whole exercise. Like I was a young man once, and I've been around certain types of substances, but it was pretty gross watching your kid just getting fed with drugs and just being more and more like at hospital. He got onto the NOS. And he was loving the NOS, but I was sort of going, "Oh, this is a bit gross." Because usually when people have been like that, we're all having fun and listen to drum and bass or something. But he was on the NOS, and so I was
hopefully he doesn't have a taste for it.
Yeah, exactly. But it was funny. He loves drum and bass, so when he was absolutely off his chops on the NOS, waiting for his surgery, or just waiting for anything really in A&E. I put on one of his favorite drum and bass songs, and it was like he was at fast forwarding 20 years to him at a festival, hearing his favorite DJ dropping it, just wait, and he goes, wait for the drop, and then he was just bursting along with drum and bass and A&E.
So I have to strap him down.
While old mate's next door behind the curtain with a busted pelvis, sick of waiting, just abusing every nurse that walked through that curtain. He was waspy next door. Yeah. So no, there was a hell of an ordeal.
So a couple of nights in, 3 nights in hospital, was it?
4 nights in hospital, I think, in the end. 4 nights, couple of bit of titanium for his troubles, and now he's back home, but he's still pretty crook, poor little bugger. It's a decent old setup. So he's in a bit of pain still, and then coming off certain drugs, he's getting crook and vomiting, and it's all the other shit that you don't even thought when he'd get home he'd be fine, but there's still a bit of work to do. So, but he's all good. Me and him are actually, that's what we're doing. You need to give me that. He was asking about Super Coach last night and what that was.
Oh yeah.
So take that. Me and Teddy
round 10.
Me and Teddy are going to jump in. Yeah, me and Teddy are going to jump in and get a Super Coach because he won't be doing anything else for the next 4 months.
Yeah, so we'll have a Super Coach update for you on Tuesday, and I'm glad I hung on to Luke Metcalf in my team. There was probably more out of laziness or not really knowing how to do trades, but anyway, he stayed in my team, and I'm pretty sure he was one of the better scorers. If you want to join that league still, it's the code is 130560. I think you can still join in until round 10, especially.
So now, are we going to be on the back? How much of the back foot? How much the price has gone up? Are we just going to end up with this team of duds? Of Jake Clifford,
no, I mean,
Sean Sullivan, Who even plays NRL these days?
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. You might need to don't message me. My team's terrible. You need to contact Weeze and get some tips off him.
Oh no, we're just gonna dive in. Yeah, I don't want to get too deep. We're just gonna enter a team and see how it runs.
Well, I'm sure people are losing their minds over Tom Trbojevich's injury, and sweating on him making it back next week.
Even Cherry
So
Evans ones looks a little niggly, doesn't it?
Oh, geez, I could feel that. I almost felt my back
Yeah.
spasming. I could almost feel that pain he was feeling.
Yeah.
After my ordeal last year.
And the look on his
Geez,
face,
that
he
looked
wasn't
poor.
too stoked about it, eh? He was almost looked more upset that he knew this wasn't a quick fix. So hopefully it is. Geez, he's going good for an old boy, eh? I hope he sticks around till he's 40.
Didn't have the best night of it the other night, which makes a nice change for his games against the Warriors. But yeah, geez, he goes good still. I reckon fucking half an hour on the Shakti mat and he'll be all right for round 3.
Those Shakti mats are a fucking myth. I reckon someone's having a laugh. I bet you I can send
No, they're good.
1 million units of these spikes and fucking people will think it's fixing them. Watch this shit. Here's something funny. I reckon it's all a wind-up Shakti mats.
No, they actually do a good job. I'd vouch for my Shakti mat.
That neck roll one really gets in there, doesn't it? It hurts like shit.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there must be some Kings Container player ratings to go along with this game. Did you do any work
mate.
involving that?
I did.
Yeah,
I was up till midnight-ish, burning the midnight oil, reviewing this one and the players, but much more pleasant to do than
I was in bed. I put one of my Warriors jersey over my pillow as a pillowcase, and I just tucked up and snuggled into one of the jerseys over a pillowcase, and that was me, lights out, thumb in mouth.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
No. I sat there with the Roosters Panthers game on one of the other screens and joyfully reviewed these players. So we'll whip through them.
Nice.
Chance Nickel-Klokstad gave him 6.5. I thought, much better. Obviously, a tough night in Vegas. Pretty quiet in the first half, and he kept on doing the old sit-down bomb defusal method early on, which Tally's young man was absolutely blowing up about again. Tally reported to me that he was
doesn't
out
like
again,
that
but
habit.
it's cost us a try a week ago, so not sure what that's about. But 171 meters, and I thought he was really good in the second half. 8 tackle breaks. Still not really featuring too much in the playmaking department, and we really need to, could do with an extra ball player. But
another thing
a step forward.
Another thing I noticed from his game, it was one. Must have been, what was it? First half. He got the ball on the 5th tackle and almost panicked like a prop does when they get the ball on the 5th tackle, and just wanted to hot potato it to someone. And I straight away thought, geez, most fullbacks have a little bit of a kicking game in them. You shouldn't be shitting yourself if you get the ball on the 5th tackle.
Yeah,
There's a couple of little things.
A bit limited still. Yeah,
he is. He's fucking great, and his effort is second to none. So that's why I don't want. I don't want it to sound like I'm whinging about him.
No, but it's just got his strengths and weaknesses. Tane Tuapiki gave him an 8. I thought he was just about our best on the park. Great try out of nothing. Sort of got a long floater from Metcalf, and we had nowhere to go. Arced infield, pinned his ears back, and scored beside the post. So I thought he was really good defensively. 8 tackle breaks as well, and 14 carries, 100 meters. And then that intercept right at the end to set up the last try. Brad, everyone's in love with Tane. I absolutely adore this guy. When Dallin comes back, what do you do with him? Is he just going back to cup, or can you squeeze him in somewhere? I mean, it's tough.
I know what I'm doing.
If he keeps playing like this, and it's round 12, Dallin comes back, Tane's been absolutely killing it. I mean, what do you do?
Yeah, if I know exactly what I'd do straight away, but they'll probably just put him back, won't they, or extend a bench?
Yeah.
But he needs to be there. I'll be putting Chance to centre. If Chance can't kick and he's not a playmaker, where else do you go on the field? And you got someone that can put in their effort. Centre just makes perfect sense to me.
That's
where I'd want to go. I was sort of hoping in that first half, Metcalf got a little niggle, and it was when he was still playing a little bit iffy. And I was like, oh shit, we might get a chance to see Tane slip into the halves here. during the game. But I don't know what
Yeah.
happened. What was that where Metcalf just sort of walked out? Was that when he got the clip across the nose?
Yeah, I think they initially thought maybe broken nose. He had a hell of a nasty gash, but I think don't know that it was broken. That was part of my thinking, especially when the halves were struggling a bit during the first half. I thought, geez,
Yeah.
Tane would be
Yeah.
really good in the halves, and he's played a lot of 5'8", but obviously we've got 1,000 mid-level halves already. I don't see him getting there unless there's a
No.
string of injuries. But
You're right. He needs to
I
stay.
think, yeah,
But the thing is, Dallin's out for weeks and weeks and weeks. It's a problem we don't have to worry about till friggin'
yeah,
July, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah,
So, God,
certainly
hopefully he
not
can
yet.
just make a name for himself.
Well, I'd love to, it'd be an ideal solution for that sort of lack of a ball playing fullback. And
Mm.
Chance, I think his strengths would go really well at centre, although suddenly we're looking a bit more flush at centre again with Rocco Berry returning in New South Wales Cup pretty strongly. Talk about that shortly. Ali Leatawa gave him a 7, thought not super busy, but geez, his moments were pretty good ones. Great run, great line for that
Oh,
try, short off Metcalf.
he hit that
Just a
hard.
powerhouse. Yeah.
The camera couldn't keep up with that. Like, there wasn't enough frames to have him in the shot. It was like the flash. He was sort of a meter behind the ruck, and then he was over the try line next frame. It was so rapid. Yeah, beautiful play.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see him a bit busier, only 8 runs, 75 metres. Hand in that last try. Seemed to be pretty solid in defence. There was a late change for Manly with Kohler pulling out, which was, that's a fairly crucial loss for Manly, such a speedster.
Yeah.
Pompey in the other centre gave him a 6, very quiet night, but nothing too bad to report, and lovely flick for that try of Rogers. Nothing too, I don't know if the comms on that left edge was much to do with him. You can't tell from where we're sitting, but
Not much travelled
solid
past
enough
Chanel
again
there for a while either, though. Chanel was digging in quite a bit. It didn't. That's that side, isn't it? Chanel, Rog, and Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I thought no complaints with
No,
Pompey.
not at all.
We've talked a fair bit about Roger already. Gave him a 7. Those jams were not great, and his opposite winger made 4 line breaks, but some really good moments, particularly with the ball. 17 runs, 167 meters, 6 tackle breaks, and outstanding try out. Pretty much from nothing to clinch the result. And I think he's found a spot.
He grew into the game, didn't he? He seemed to start looking for the ball a bit more and was doing that stepping 5 people in the 2 meter square sort of radius there, or 2 meter circle. He was starting to look busier and busier and wanted the ball. And that searching back in field for that last try, that's awesome. It's same as Tane's one, where they were out of ideas on their flank, and they come searching in and spot to have the step and the pace, still carve through and get a try. Both of those wingers, had a great weekend, I reckon.
I think we're getting a lot more from Roger on that left wing than we did from Marcelo. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, definitely. And even Tane compared to Cossie, so yeah.
Oh shit, yeah.
No, Roger's going to grow into.
Chanel again. I thought it was one of the real highlights. I thought his kicking game is a really nice fall for Metcalf, for someone that's probably not for Metcalf to have to come in and do as much kicking as Sean would have been quite a challenge. And I think having Chanel be able to take that pressure off is very handy. Forced a couple of line dropouts with his little grubbers, and keen to run when it's right to run. A good try, very good in defence, and loving his work so far. Look, Metcalf, talked plenty about him already. Some great moments, some less than good moments. The short kicking game still has a fair way to go. Long kicking game, not too bad. He seems to take a wee while to sort of set himself to, so finds himself under pressure, I think, kicking.
He takes an extra step.
It does a little bit. And obviously when we're not sort of on the front foot as much as we might have been, say, last year, it's tough, but I thought he actually kicked pretty well. And
Yeah, he
in
did.
general, playing six from six off the tee. So yeah, there seems to be a section of the supporter base that is in love with Adam Pompey's goal kicking. It's not very good, and statistically. So that should put that to bed. There's plenty from out wide. We nailed them all. And yeah, overall, really positive. Luke Metcalf, good on you. Good bounce back.
No shit. Yeah, well done, son.
The props and co-captains, both 7.5s, thought they were both really good, really aggressive. Good stats. Yeah, JFH, 40 tackles, outstanding, 130 meters. Mitch Barnett, 120 meters, 33 tackles. Both played a lot more minutes than Vegas. Both stayed out for longer at the start. And yeah, it obviously made a big difference. Mitch looked like Mitch again, just throwing himself into everything. And James Fisher-Harris looks pretty at home in that jersey. Pretty fired up.
They do. That
Get
Barnett's first stint was incredible. It was 60 minutes, wasn't it? Didn't he do the first 60?
50 odd. Did he?
Yeah, that was huge. And even both those props. Look, you're right. Fisher-Harris is a completely, and I'm having to learn this as well. He's a completely different prop to Adam. You think he's going to get the ball and be bowling 10 pins, just skittling people, but it doesn't happen. He's just strong and no one fucks with him. And that's what you get from Fisher-Harris. Yeah.
Wade Egan, I think most people's man of the match. I think it'd probably get my vote. In a split decision over Tane. He was poking holes all night before making that break. Although I thought he was slightly lucky to get away with that. I thought he might have maybe had a hand in that, and before he honed away.
I think they're lucky they didn't score the try directly off that play.
Yeah, potentially. I didn't get another decent look at it, but did look a little sketchy. And then a couple of plays later, dived over from dummy half. Led the defense again, 41 tackles, 143 meters. Obviously, that break helps, but he's even without that break, he's still, that's 100 meters or so. That's well above his averages. So great performance from our number 9.
He was just getting stuck into a couple of lazy or people not at marker.
Yeah.
He really exploited that. Just grabbed him, didn't he? And just sort of pushes him like a shield in front of him. He bloody
still one of the best at it.
Insane game.
The second rowers both picked up 6.5s after getting absolutely battered from pillar to post for their performances in Vegas. I thought both of them bounced back quite nicely. Capewell and Nukorte probably more prominent in the first half. Obviously, both came off. Capewell played the full 80. Nukorte came off with 20 to go, but it just seemed a lot more fizzed up, running angles, trying to make a difference, and obviously both a lot better defensively as well, with some pretty tough assignments. Capewell was up against Olakau'atu. Olakau'atu was not even a factor, and he was the one I was most scared of coming into that game. Nukorte, 18 tackles, no misses, and 10 carries, 80 meters for Nukorte. I think Capewell had 6 runs for 60 odd meters. Kind of clocked off a little bit in the second half attack-wise, but
they just done their job, those two, didn't they? They were strong, but they weren't super present. You know what I mean? They weren't doing anything amazing, but Jesus, they were strong, and they just kept going. Did Capewell play 80 minutes?
Yeah.
Out of it. I thought he was gone when he got that clip on the shoulder trying to tackle Olakau'atu. And there was that one where he got him in a real
I was kind of hoping. I was like, go off for a break, mate. You got some bloody good players right in the pine there.
Yeah, exactly. Aaron Clark, is it?
Yeah, Aaron Clark, 7.5, probably could have bumped to an 8. 18 runs, 149 meters, 22 tackles. Again, just great league speed, great post contact. Love him there. Obviously, a different sort of player to Tohu, but showing exactly what he can do. Nice to see his mum in the stands as well.
She hasn't aged, eh? It
Yeah,
looks like they could be brother and sister. I don't know.
yeah,
I'm not having
yeah.
I'm not having a dig at your mum, Aaron. I'm just saying she's kept herself in good nick. Yeah, I don't want any trouble out of this. But
So
yeah. Yeah, I was expecting to
we'll,
see an older woman than I remembered, but it just looked like Temafara Clark.
yeah, we all had a bit of a crush on her back in the day at uni when we used to watch a bit of when watching the Silver Ferns was a bit more of a thing in the mid 2000s, and she was in her heyday.
Yeah.
But yeah, proud as punch. She looked in the stands, so great to
Yeah.
see. Nice little family connection. The bench, Dylan Walker, pretty quiet. 27 minutes. I don't know if anything sort of happened
Yeah.
there. Didn't sort of feature too much. Didn't. Yeah, obviously not. Obviously out there for that long, but only 9 passes. Otherwise, a few runs, a few tackles, but
Yeah, I don't know if
kind
he
of
wants to have
passed me
too
by.
many games like that, does he, in a row? Because I reckon Sam Healy would be sort of eyeing up that position on the bench.
Possibly, but yeah, I mean, he's sort of more part of that middle forward rotation.
Mm,
Just only interesting to see him only get 27 minutes when he's usually a 50-minute plus at least player.
yeah.
Whether that was something that happened during the game or part of Webster's strategy this time. Jackson Ford, a lot better in this sort of role. Just came on 33 minutes, worked his ass off, 11 runs, 111 meters, 26 tackles without a miss. I think
Yeah.
that's much more of an effective role for him than trying to soak up 50 minutes from kickoff.
Yeah, no. It seemed to
No, he
work
was
a
good.
whole lot better this weekend. I was when he come on, I was like, oh, we're traveling all right here. We don't need Jacko to do Jacko things. But nah, he put his head
Yeah.
down, no errors, just got it done. Yeah. And then but the there's still 2 more. Who is it Vaimonga?
The
16.
two young fellas, Dimitri
Yeah.
Vamonga and Leka Halasamba, thought again they're both good. Obviously, a different game situation than they came
Mm,
on to in Vegas. So the game was still in the balance. And I thought they looked more than comfortable. Leka in particular, excited for them to get more minutes in
yeah.
different parts of games. But this experience will no doubt be helping their development.
So in the end, with all that pissing and moaning last week, was the interchange used any different this week?
Well,
Really?
yeah, I mean, so we
Apart
had.
from the starting lineup.
Well, the start. So um, Fisher Harris stayed on till the 31st minute until he
Yeah,
was
what happened
replaced.
previous week? What was
I think
the
Fisher
clusterfuck
Harris
against?
and well, so first of all, Ford was brought on to start
Yeah,
for Clark, and Barnett was moved to lock. Fisher Harris and Barnett came off in the 20-something minute each. This time, Fisher Harris and Clark both went off together in the 31st minute. So
yeah, okay,
Jackson Ford and Walker came on then. Barnett stayed on to the 52nd minute
yeah,
or about 53-minute mark, right through. And we weren't left with a, Clark, Walker, Ford
yeah,
middle
okay.
trio at any
No, it's just
stage
something
there.
I wasn't trying to pick holes in anyone's argument. I was just saying I didn't keep an eye on at all. So they were used they're out there for far longer than they were against Canberra.
Yeah, out there for
The 2
longer and
guns.
just a different,
Yeah.
much different combination of players. So when Barnett came off, finally, it was
Mm.
Fisher Harris that came back on.
Okay. Yeah.
So so the entire game we had at least one of them out there.
And in terms of Lecker and Demetric, did they come on similar times as they did against Canberra?
Yeah,
Or they did, eh? So that wasn't any
similar.
different.
Yeah.
But it
Lecker
seemed like
played the
it was
last 90
better because we're
minutes.
ahead this time round. It
Yeah,
seemed like it
yeah,
worked to
obviously.
me for some reason
Yeah, I
this
mean, it's
time.
obviously everything's going to look a lot better because we had
Yeah.
a big win. Dimitrik, according to the NRL.com, he had 2 stints, 14 minutes, and then came back on for 2.5 minutes. I'm not quite sure what the actual rotation was there, but great team performance, no duds, several studs, and I think everyone was a step up from Canberra, at least one step up. So
Yeah, no shit.
great to see.
No shit.
Getting towards the end here, Brad. We'll let you go some, but what about that What about the rest of the round? We talked about the Roosters shocking the Panthers on Friday night, made for a crazy Friday night of footy. On Thursday, Knights getting it done against the Dolphins to go 2-0. Yesterday, some entertaining games. The Rabbitohs coming back from 12 points down at Wollongong to beat St George Illawarra 25-24. Third game of Jamie Humphreys with the match-winning field goal, the most casual match-winning field goal you'll ever see. Absolute beauty. And then, finishing it off with Canberra smashing the Broncos. It was much more convincing than the 32-22 final scoreline made it look. They had that wrapped up a long way out from full time, and similar to the Manly Warriors game. It was just pure effort and aggression and bustling a brilliant team into mistakes, and the other team sort of getting a bit rattled because the shit that was working last week wasn't working for them.
Yeah, I haven't seen much. I have to look at thing. I didn't see any of that one. I just check the score this morning. I watched the Cowboys bloody Sharks game. Sharks made.
Oh yeah,
they took a while to actually put them to the sword in that. Cowboys are still in that for quite a while into the game.
Yeah.
They're dog shit, aren't they?
Oh yeah, Toddy Payton. He is already under the pump. He's conceded 78 points in 2 games to good teams, but geez, they look like
just
they've
aren't
got
getting it done. Yeah.
No.
Who's the Savo? We've got the Bulldogs. Someone the Savo, eh?
First
Bulldogs,
game
Titans.
is at 6. Eels Tigers is the first game.
Eels Tigers. No shit. That'll be a ripper.
Yeah, bit of interest in that one. Obviously, round 1 losers, and then Bulldogs at 8:15 kickoff against the Titans, opening their campaign after the bye last week. So, yeah, excited about what the Titans might be able to produce.
Keep an eye on the Tigers because they're coming up not too distant future, aren't they? Got the Chooks.
Yeah, round
Chooks
4, I believe.
Another home game this week as well against the Chooks. So we hopefully
another Friday nighter at home.
Do that, and then it's Tigers, and then a bye. So, Fon's always warned us not to look too far ahead.
But I'm not even going to bring up the ladder. I mean, I'm dying to in round 2. I think we can start looking at the ladder. But...
I was even watching them going up and down with teams of for and against yesterday. How's this? How's what my mate found in his shed yesterday he gave to me? How's that? An OG pack of Paul Malls.
Got any in there?
Nah, it hasn't. It hasn't. But the only warning on the side, it says smoking may cause harm. That's all it says. The good old days, man. Yeah, the good old days.
Just in small print.
Get it into you, son. Yeah.
Now you pretty much got a corpse on you. If you buy a packet of ciggies, you get a picture of a corpse on it. And for good reason.
Yeah, terrible.
And just quickly, Brad, New South Wales Cup, 31-20 over Manly. Good win for the boys. Came back from what they were 12-0 down early on. Piled on 5 tries and got a good win. Tamati Martin, just from watching the highlights, a couple of great moments, made a long line break to set up the first try for Kalis Fatilofa down the wing, and then scored a neat little solo try in the second half to really put them put the Manly to the sword. So Sam Healy, a good try as well, sort of shows that what he can do, that he just bounces out of tackles and just plays that ad-lib style. I'd love to see him in first grade at some stage. I'm sure we will. Jacob Laban, another strong performance, leading the run meters count with 177. Healy also shown that he's a hard worker, 44 tackles in there. So enjoying his extended. He didn't get a lot of game time last year because he was a bench hooker in New South Wales Cup. So he's shown that he's more than capable starter. And Rocco Berry making his return. Well, actually returned last week, but played 40 minutes. Not too much to report, but he was very strong yesterday. Set up a good try. Had 3 line break assists, a line break and 1 try assist, 8 runs, 103 meters. Put on some big hits. So a good old outing for him. Our mate Mauala Graham Tulfa, 140 meters. He didn't get a try this week, but pretty decent again. And Tanner Boyd, 5 from 5, and a field goal to finish it off at
how
the
did
end.
he
So,
go? Did you watch any of that game? Did you watch that game?
No, I didn't see it. I've just caught up on the highlights, the extended highlights. So not too sure how Tanner went overall, but line break assist in there. 13 runs, 18 tackles, perfect
Jeez,
with the boot. So all of a sudden our halves depth is looking pretty handy. Obviously need to keep improving. We're going to need a lot more. We're going to be a top eight team from these guys, but certainly depth wise, we're not going to be left pigeonholing fucking back rowers into 5'8" or anything like that.
Let's just spend 7 days enjoying the fact that we gave fucking Manly a hiding, eh? That's all we can do for
100%.
now. That's all we can do for
Beautiful.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed our sunnier disposition. Had a couple of people, even as recently as this morning, Brad, commenting on something or other. One
how
of the
negative you
posts on
are.
the Twitter. Yeah, some old Vorney saying, won't have to be so morbid this time. Jeez,
You said
jeez
you're going to
Louise,
the beach.
just reacting to what we say.
You said you're going to the beach after this, though, so maybe you have a bit of a long, hard think about yourself down there as well. You can meet them halfway.
I'll look out
Yeah.
into the ocean and think,
If people are saying this, there's a common denominator in all of this accusations, Will. So fucking pot kettle, sweet. I'm going to go find out
from the guy that couldn't even turn up for Teamless Tuesday last week because of my son's got a broken leg. Oh,
he
fuck.
fucking hurt his leg. Wow. Oh, I've got a bit of what am I going to do? I'm going to carry on. I've just been battling a bit of heartburn actually. Vegemite on toast for breakfast.
What do you
That's
do for your
accelerant
heartburn?
number 16.
Really?
I'll go on there. I'm on the quickies. I used to be medicated on the omeprazole, but it's only just come back in the last couple of weeks. I might have to go back onto the medication, but it'll be a quick fix, sticking plaster with that. And then I got to work out if you can walk on a gas giant. You know.
Oh yeah.
The planets. We're on planets now.
Yeah.
Bugging me. Me and my boy Odie have been doing a bit of study on planets, and do you know how some of the planets, like Uranus and Jupiter, and that, and I think Saturn, they're called the gas giants because they're made of gas.
Yeah.
Is the gas? Can you stand on it, or is it like a cloud? And you just fall through.
I don't know. There's probably some other factors in there that would mean you probably burn up if you got anywhere near it.
But if you were impervious to that, you mean? Yeah, well, I know you can't.
Yeah, I don't know. Any science buffs out there? Because I was shocking at science. I've got no idea.
Maybe the gas is dense enough that it goes to a solid, but then it's not a gas, is it? I don't know. I'm going to have to do some further look at this. F1 this afternoon with Liam Lawson. Had a rough day in qualifying yesterday. So,
I'll be into 18th that. On the grid, is he?
Yeah, no, it's no good. But it's meant to be wet. So hopefully he can pluck himself back through the crowd. If it's a wet race, it should level the playing field a bit.
It'd be good. Kick that. We'll set at 5 o'clock and then into some Sunday night footy.
Me and Ted will be watching the Dogs. Warriors related question. What's Joshy Curran up to? Is he out injured at the moment? Or is he not making suspended. The team? Oh, okay.
No, he was suspended for round 1, so he'll be back tonight.
Okay,
Titans.
Yeah, no, that's been bugging me a little bit trying to work out what he's been up to. Oh well, neither the mind.
There's no way you could have found out what was going on any other way except wait until
I'll just ask Will
Sunday morning podcast.
Instead of just doing some research, I'll just wait. This dude I know, he knows heaps about league, man. I'll just ask him when I'm talking to him next.
You're on fire again, Brad. Oh, bit of planet homework before you rejoin me for live Teamless Tuesday.
I got that.
Yeah, we'll see you all then.
Yeah, good shit. Good to see your face, bro.
Yeah, you too. Until Teamless Tuesday, ahead of the Warriors Roosters on Friday night. We'll look after yourselves and each other.
This is a Frank podcast.